On June 15th, 2023, a small town in Ohio was rocked when a father turned his rifle on his own children. One of them escaped and was able to ask a neighbor to call for help. But by the time police arrived at the scene, blood had already been shed, and one of the worst crimes in state history had been committed.
911, where's your emergency?
There's a girl running down the street saying that her stepfather is killing everyone in her family. It's on the corner of where there's a body shop and the fire department. Do you know what road this is?
Okay, what's your name?
Get into the fire department.
What's your name?
Do you know what road this is? Laura Lindell Road.
Okay, and what did the female say to you?
And she says that her stepfather is killing everybody in her house. I did. I'm on the phone with them right now.
Did she say how or what was happening?
I asked her to get in the car with me, and she said she couldn't leave her family. But I think she ran to the fire department.
So she went to the fire station. What did she look like?
She's probably a young teenager, probably like 16 maybe, with long blonde hair.
Did she say anything about a baby?
I don't know about no baby. She said she just couldn't leave her family. But I see a car running around. So I drove down the road a little bit, so I was afraid that I was going to get shot myself since I interacted with her face-to-face. So I'm just about maybe 3 houses down. But she's waiting at the corner. I don't know what she's doing, but I kind of still see her in the corner. But I saw a car kind of came around and whipped around, so I'm not exactly sure if that's him or if he's chasing her or not. I'm sorry?
What kind of vehicle was it?
I saw it. It was like a gray. Did you see that car whip around? It's one of the fire department guys.
Okay.
I think maybe a fire department guy. It was a regular kind of Focus-looking gray car.
Okay, we have help on the way. Thank you so
Dark
much.
gray.
If you
Okay, all right.
Anything else, call us back, okay, and steer clear of the area at this time.
Okay. She said this said stay clear from the area.
Yeah, which
but she came to that. That's the house right there.
Okay.
Oh, are you inside where you're safe?
I'm standing outside where I can see the lady.
Okay.
I'm across the street at Lindell Automotive.
Can you tell how many people have been shot?
I think 2 children.
Okay. All right. What was
that
your
I've
name,
seen.
sir?
My name is.
What's your last name? All right. We've got help on the way. If you could just try to stay inside so that you're safe.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Minutes after the 911 calls made by frightened witnesses, sheriff's deputies in Monroe Township, Ohio, descend on the house from where the terrifying sound of gunshots had just echoed. As law enforcement officers approach the home, they are met with the unforgettable sight of 32-year-old Chad Doerman sitting calmly on the front porch with his 3 young sons, each brutally shot, in the yard before him. This is all captured on police body cams.
Show us your hands now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand the fuck up!
The stage and air crew is going to go ahead and fly whenever any units can advise.
Get your hands out here. Tell them we're 21. It's in there.
Those guys can confirm that there's people that need first aid, and that's the shooter who's not complying. They need to take care of the victims. They have to shoot him and shoot him.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober. Never did drugs a day in
63,
my life.
we're 21. Get the EMS over here.
Well, I did drugs with a flip, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you.
63.
Get your butt inside. Yellen, get your butt inside.
We on primary?
Now.
29, we got 3 kids down.
He took my life from me! My life!
What are you doing, man?
Hey, are you copying all this?
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
You got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it. I ain't mad, I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him.
All right.
He won't bite you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna get you here in a
I ain't
second.
running away. You can do whatever you want with me.
You the only one else inside the house?
Yep.
Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
Listen, look. Yeah, the right to main side user. Hold on.
The boys, aged 7, 4, and 3 years old, had been lined up and executed. Chad Doerman had reportedly gathered the boys in the front yard and held them at gunpoint before one of them escaped into a nearby field. Doerman then hunted his own child down, captured him, and brought him back to the house. Doerman then placed the young boy back in the firing line alongside his 2 brothers. When the shooting started, their sister managed to escape the chaos and call for help, and their mother attempted to save her children, but was shot in the hand as she put her life on the line trying to protect her kids. As police approach the stoic Chad Doerman and force him to the ground, Doerman assures the officers that he is sober and not going to hurt anyone. Meanwhile, Doerman's wife can be heard yelling, "You took my life from me!" The mother continues her deeply distressed cries just feet away from her slain children. Chad Doerman is taken into custody as emergency responders do all they can to save the lives of the 3 boys. Their efforts are unsuccessful. Chad Doerman is then charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, and his bail is set at $20 million. During the initial hearing, while surrounded by armed officers, Doerman remains stone-faced and shows almost no emotion. When he does begin to break down, it appears to only come as a result of him realizing that he will be kept in custody. It is also worth noting that during the hearing, Doerman is dressed in what is sometimes called a pickle suit. This attire is usually given to prisoners to prevent self-harm and indicates that Doerman is not only mentally unstable, but a risk to himself. The 32-year-old man had committed what responding officers described as the worst crime they had ever seen. Yet Chad Doerman was seemingly unaffected by his own actions. So had this father lost his mind? Had he snapped in a moment of uncontrollable rage? Or were these sickening killings something that Chad Doerman had planned in advance? The investigation into these murders is still ongoing, but reports already suggest that Doerman had been preparing to kill his own children in cold blood for months in advance. While most cannot fathom a motive for such a heinous crime, an alleged reason as to why Chad Doerman would do such a thing is that he carried out the murders as a way to punish his wife. Chad's wife had reportedly requested a divorce, and seemingly in response to this, Chad Doerman opted to take 3 of the things his wife loved the most. When those living in close proximity to the Doerman house were questioned about their experiences with the 32-year-old, they confessed that domestic disturbances were seemingly commonplace in the household. He was angry every day. There wasn't a day he didn't yell at his wife and kids out there. Since his arrest, Chad Doerman has reportedly admitted to killing his 3 sons. He is now set for a preliminary hearing. The gunshot injury sustained by his wife was not life-threatening, and her daughter that fled the scene of the shooting suffered no physical injuries. Mother and daughter now face the unthinkable task of continuing their lives after such a horrendous loss. A fundraiser for funeral costs, as well as support for the survivors of this tragedy, has already raised over $260,000. Though the money will undoubtedly help the mother and her daughter, her only surviving child, to rebuild their lives, no amount of money will bring the 3 innocent boys back. Their aunt posted the following message to the GoFundMe page: "Nothing will make this better. It will never be okay. This loss is unimaginable, but we're choosing to remember the boys for the wonderful babies they are." Chad Doerman has destroyed his family, and he will likely spend the rest of his life in police custody. Though just how many years that life will entail remains to be seen, as prosecutors have not made it clear whether or not they will seek the death penalty. Given the severity of Chad Doerman's crimes, it is most certainly a possibility.